My name is Francesca Weaver, also known as Frenchie's Tattoos, and I'm on the spot. Exactly what we're doing with this show, just showing that, women can come together, we can make things happen. I promote a lot on my Instagram and my Facebook, like things I do on a daily. Like 1 minute I'm here cooking this big feast, and then the next minute I just completed like a painting. Or let other women know, like, don't just close yourself to, oh, I'm too busy to do that, or I can't do that, or I gotta go to work, go home, go to sleep, that's it. And I just try to promote the fact that, you have about 18 hours in a whole day where you're awake. In 18 hours, you can accomplish a lot.
But I kind of want to show people that art, whatever medium it is that you use, you can do it. Whether you're good at it or not good at it, who cares? It's an expression of who you are and what you're doing in that moment,
yeah,
right?
And also, it's not a competition. And don't be shy with your painting, or don't be shy with your drawing because you're afraid that it's not better than everybody else's or whatever. You're just doing your best, and compliment the next person.
What advice would you give your daughter? What advice would you give to yourself at your daughter's age about how to just know that whatever problems come your way, there's always going to be a solution?
As bad as my life has been at certain points, I would not have changed it, because I find happiness. Like, once I get to the lowest point of my life, it's no going down, it's going up from there. And I just feel like if I was to tell myself anything in the past, I'd be like, just find the happiness of everything. Just, if you're sitting and you have to wait for your, let's say your bus or something, and you're sitting there waiting, you gotta wait 1 hour, 2 hours, just try and find like the goodness of just sitting there, like maybe people watching, or just clean air, or just calmness, or just peace in yourself. So I'd pretty much just tell myself, life goes on no matter what. It's gonna keep going on and on.
You're a mechanical engineer, right? So your brain is probably wired differently.
I feel that those 7 years when I was an engineer, it really stimulated my brain, like to think in ways where not a normal person thinks that way, because it's not only do I have to figure out how this thing is made, draw it up so that people can remake it, but I gotta calculate like extra material, how long it took to do it, just structured part numbers, and it's just like, it stimulated my brain so much, and I was constantly tested. I try to tell my kids, like, math isn't everywhere. It's in building a house, it's in everyday life, in breakfast, it's in everywhere. When I was in high school, I took trigonometry, and it was amazing how just that one class, I used it the entire 7 years when I was an engineer, because that's all engineering.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is trigonometry. When you gotta calculate the XYZ coordinates of the tube underneath, it's all trigonometry. Figuring out the XYZ coordinates to put into the CNC bender so it'll bend it all in one piece. It's all trigonometry, and I learned that in school. My culture is very interesting because my culture is from Nigeria, Africa, and it's from a tribe called Yoruba. And many people know it as Santeria. And the reason it's called Santeria is because when it was brought to Cuba during slavery, the slaves were not allowed to practice Yoruba. So they hid. It just so happened that Yoruba has orishas, which are like saints. The Catholics have saints. So somehow, almost every orisha and saint are linked, and they do almost the same thing. So what they did was link them, and they called it Santeria. We're doing Santeria, we're not doing Yoruba. When my grandma and my family came to America, that's what they brought also. Me growing up, I would listen to like African drums, and there was no song. There was no song to it. It was just drums and chants, like our religious chants, which were like prayers. All right, I'm gonna tell you. Growing up, from a little girl all the way up until maybe high school, every weekend, every summer vacation, every single vacation that I had was spent in my mom's botanica. And it was You know when you buy a little thing of tea, a little package? Well, we buy it in a big bucket. So what did I have to do as a little kid, 4 years old, 3 years old, 5, 6, 7, 8, my whole life, I would get the little packages and we would go buy the packages, buy the labels, buy the machine that does the label, get the yerba, put it in the little baggie, weigh it, and it had to weigh exactly the same, print out the label, and I'd do a production run as a little kid. You know, we do like candles, we make candles, you know all the candles, they're shaped in a certain way, we had molds, so we'd make all that. This is me as a little kid with my grandma, my aunt, my mom, and we're doing it with each botanica that we had. So here I am working. I go out the world with no fear because like I've been raised that way to take care of it. You have to make it happen.
And I think that's so awesome that you have that, like, coming at the world with no fear, because it's women like that who are really going to shape the world that we live in, you know. And also think that conquering our fears is the biggest thing that we can do for ourselves. Who is your hero? Who is the person that you can thank for Francesca?
My grandmother. Just seeing all she's accomplished in life, and I just see myself in her same tracks. Like, I feel she's made everything happen. Whatever is on her mind or her heart, she just makes happen, and I feel I'm following her like the same way. She really moved her whole entire family to America to better her and her seeds. I see myself big time in my grandma, and I'm reminded about it all the time. Like my mom says, "Tú no eres hija de mí." Tú no eres mi hija, tú eres hija de ella. She just gave me the mentality like you could do anything. Like you don't have to hire somebody to do it. You could do it yourself.
Why tattoos then? Did you just pick it because you knew you could do it?
Well, pretty much, yeah, that's how I started it. But I mean, tattoos is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that I cannot break myself out of it. I'm getting more and more into the lifestyle, and I mean, I'm into it for a lot of different reasons. When I do people's work, it's either fixing something they hate and I'm making it something they love, or maybe something they really feel strong about. Sometimes young kids come in and they're like, "Oh, I want my neck blasted in my hand." And then I'm like, I try to educate them a little bit. You know, even though I'm blasted and it's my lifestyle, I still won't abuse the young. I'll let them know, like, look, educate yourself. You know, if you want to be somebody professional, it's going to be very difficult for you to cover up. Like, it is possible to cover up, but why make your lifestyle about covering up? For if anything, get tatted on your back, get tatted other places, and I try to push that out there. Like, I try not to take advantage of the young. Yeah, it's not all about the money, because I could easily be like, all right, give me $200 and I'll freaking tat your neck. You know, but it's not about the money with me. I'd rather be like, if you really feel strong about that particular tattoo, let's put it here, or let's put it somewhere else, you know, where you could still have the tattoo, or wait on that one.
No, that's cool, because that means that you actually think about other people and what they might go through.
When a young person comes in and they want tattoos, that's what I try to express to them. Like, you are going to be judged. You know what I mean? So try, if you really feel strong about this tattoo, maybe get it somewhere where you can wear a long sleeve, cover it up, and not just right here on your neck. You know, I know you want to be cool, show off your tattoo, but try to think past the cool.
What is your definition of art?
Artists that come back with like clean, crisp lines, I pretty much look at them like people that are perfectionists. And you know, and it doesn't mean that every person that does a crisp, clean line that they're a perfectionist or someone to detail, you know, has patience, but it pretty much, like, the way it's all together. When I see a painting, I kind of see the person.
With that said, I want to thank you for being on the spot with me, for sharing a little bit of your culture, Cuba. I'm glad that you're part of the show, just because, again, I wanted to represent Latin America from all sides. Thank you for saying yes to me with my crazy idea, and hopefully there's going to be more, but thank you for everything.